All right, I want to give you guys some more clarity on the horizontal, vertical, and ratio analysis. So we're going to start with just pulling up the screen. I have these two side by side. I'm looking at PPG versus Sherwin-Williams. If we want to get a good look at these companies, you'll see that I go to the Morningstar stock information side and I can go into quote and see all the things that I need to see. I can pull up their financials and get all of the numbers that I need to look at. This is where your horizontal and vertical analysis comes from. When you're doing horizontal analysis, you're looking at what happened from year to year to year to year. This is the horizontal analysis. So I can see that Sherwin-Williams has gone from 10 billion in sales. And if I want to look even further back, I can click on the 2010 numbers, but they've gone from 10 billion in sales to almost 15 billion in sales. That alone is worthy enough to be one of the things that you write about in your paper. One of the things that's very important for shareholders is the earnings per share. Again, this is where you'll see Sherwin-Williams goes from $7.26 per share all the way to $18.67 per share. We can see how much money they're spending. We can see all of their financials. What I'm looking for you to do is just really look and see what are the things that stand out to you the most. What are the things that are the most unique that you can find? So if I look at the last 10 years of this organization, and here's their income statement, balance sheet, and cash flows, what I'm really looking for is just different changes to them, different pieces of what we can learn. So if I wanted to look at all of these numbers, I'm looking to see where are the jumps. What are the big things that have happened? If I look at 2013, 2012, there was $1 billion in income, and they've already moved that number up to $1.5 billion in income. I don't see anything else that is staggering here, so that would be one of the things that I would write down. When I look at PPG Industries, and I pull up on Morningstar their financial reports, I can get a better feeling of the things that we can learn there. So if I want to look at their financials, I can click on financials and I can see that revenue-wise, you can see that there is a much different growth from Sherwin-Williams to Morningstar. So they're growing faster. Operating margins are not growing real fast, but here's a story. Operating margin percent from 2015 to 2016 was a dramatic shift. We want to figure out what happened and why. Most of that would come from news articles about the company or information from their annual report. And all we're looking for is different things. If you want to go and learn more, you can get into their full chart, and we can find out all of the different news and all of the different changes that has happened to the stock price. So if I wanted to click and say, okay, what is the max we can see from PPG? We're going to find out that in 1972, this sold for $1.96. And all of a sudden here, we see that this stock is at $117. There's a story with all of these dips. If we want to figure out what that story is, generally you can pull up news about the stock. That can be as simple as just typing in news articles about the stock. We can go backwards, and usually if you're not using Google Finance or Morningstar, somewhere you'll be able to find a quote about what is going on in all of these. So vertical analysis, you go back into the financials and specifically the income statement, and you are looking for all of these things as a percent to sales. So you're comparing Sherwin-Williams versus Morningstar, or Sherwin-Williams versus PPG, and you're saying what percent of their revenue was their gross profit. The percentage, what story does that tell? How much of their operating income is a percent of their revenue? How much did they pay their people? What are their earnings per share? These are all the things you want to look at to find out what percent of sales they are. And you can click right here on view and see it as a percent of sales. Their cost of revenue was 54. Compare this to your other company to find out what story this is telling you. And you'll be able to see all of the different charts and graphs that you can use in your paper to show me. The other thing that's important for you all to remember is that These last 2 weeks are just to get your feet wet. These assignments are worth very few points, and it is just to make sure that as I look through these last 2 things, when it comes to finals week, you'll just be able to polish this paper and turn it in and all do really well. Please give me a call if you want more help, or shoot me an email and I'll make more videos whenever I can.